Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. I don't know if you've been watching the news, man, about Julian Assange, but it looks like, from the way I'm reading it, they could be gearing up to pardon this guy here pretty quick. Nobody has seen this guy in a very long time. I'm seeing very different conflicting reports. Pamela Anderson is all over the news now. Honeypot Pam. She's out there trying to basically, here it is. Pamela Anderson says Trump should pardon Julian Assange. Now, Pamela Anderson is like 50, and I don't think that she was hooking up with Julian Assange, but she was allowed into the embassy. She's one of the only people that has seen him in that room that he lives in, or whatever. She's kind of on a full-time media blast over the last 24 hours talking about pardoning. So she's keeping his name fresh in the media, especially the mainstream U.S. media. She was on Tucker Carlson last night, I think. So that was a 6-5 event. This is the other interesting stuff. So Cambridge Analytica pops back up. There she is right there. Here's somebody talking about it. We're going to go take a look at that article. So first of all, The Guardian is the site where Glenn Greenwald worked, and he's the one that broke the Snowden stuff, and they leaked out all the NSA hacking tools, or spy tools, or whatever you want to call it. So just keep that in mind. Also, look at the stock picture they picked for that woman. There's just no way that she approved that picture. No possible way. She's not wearing makeup. Her skin's all oily and greasy. That is a terrible picture of her. I've never seen Brittany Kaiser before. I'm positive if we go look her up, we'll find a very, very good picture. But they try to make her look all shadowy, and oily, and kind of unkept. They're not really trying to portray her as a good person, like that's what they're trying to get right here. And here we go. Brittany Kaiser also claims to have channeled payments and donations to WikiLeaks. This is the important stuff, though. So down here it says there was no known connection until October of last year, when it was revealed that Cambridge Analytica had reached out to Assange in July 2016 and offered to help him index and distribute the 33,000 emails that had been stolen from Hillary Clinton. His name was Seth Rich. That was his name. So the reason why it's important to keep this up is I think they're going to try to demonize this Cambridge Analytica and the people that worked with it. They're really going after the messenger, not the message. The message is you can read Hillary Clinton's emails. There's 33,000 of them. You can read John Podesta's emails. And inside of those emails, you'll see some really, really hairy stuff. I'm going to move on here. There's more stuff to talk about. This happened yesterday also. So this was another June 5th event. And it was released late last night after I shot my videos. Otherwise, I would have tried to squeeze this in there. So from what I understand or what I read, this person, this woman, is the one who gave Julian Assange Ecuadorian, protection. Made him an Ecuadorian citizen, supported him in the embassy. And now she was just elected president of the UN. So I don't know what any of this means. I just think it's important to kind of put it out there. I think comments are probably we're going to figure this out. But it wasn't, other people have called it like a crushing victory, but it really wasn't. I mean, she won with about, what is that, 68%, 67% or so. They make a big deal out of her being like the fourth, female president of the UN. And here's what I'm saying, man. I don't care. Do you care? We want strong leaders. I don't care if you have a male body or a female body, or if you have dark skin or light skin or long hair or short hair. I want a strong leader. That is what I am looking for. I don't care what your cultural background is. I don't care if you're Saudi Arabian. I don't care if you're Indian, Chinese, Japanese. It's totally possible to do the right thing no matter what body you were born into. So that is who we should be looking for. We should be looking for strong leadership. We shouldn't be picking people or making a big deal out of, their sex organs, their hair color, or where they're from in the world. Strong leadership, that's what we're looking for. Strong leadership that protects Western values and the sanctity of human life and, doesn't smash countries to bits by importing giant, massive, huge influxes of people who just don't fit in. Okay, all those people have their own country. They should stay there and make it a better place. So this whole thing is played out for me. I mean, I just don't care. This woman who defeated several female candidates. See, no one talks about that. She defeated other female candidates. And continues, the male domination of the UN's top post. I just don't care. Let me just make that clear. I don't care what body you're born into, okay? You're either a good-hearted, light person, or you're part of the dark cabal. Give me anyone on Team Light, okay? Team Light, that's who I'm playing for. Give me some of those people. I don't care what they look like. I found some other cool stuff we're just going to toss in here. I mean, I'm going to kind of try to make this a video worth reporting on. I found something I thought was interesting. Doesn't mean anything. Okay, it's just a coincidence. I'll just tell you that straight up. It's a coincidence. So you see all these numbers right here on his pinned tweet? 63 days gag, 2170, 2730, 2805, and 844. Okay, now I'm not big on numerology. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. God works the way he works. I don't think he really needs numbers to run, the universe, but I get the Fibonacci sequence. I get the harmonics. I get how the world is run with math. So, I pay attention. I just don't put my faith in it. Faith in God, that's where it goes. But I played the numbers game, and I added all these numbers up, right? And what I got was this. I got this, and it's a zip code in LA. And it's odd. Okay, it doesn't mean anything, but this is the first thing to pop up on Google. WikiLeaks to help shield tech firms from the CIA's hacking tools. These articles are out there. You can go take a look at them, but the next two links are what I found to be extremely interesting. I thought that website had been removed from the internet. I don't understand why Google would show that, I don't support or condone any messages on that website, but I believe in freedom of speech, and I believe everyone should have a say without being censored as long as they don't break United States laws. So, if you want to get into the background of that, go type in, the second and third link. Go type in that and read the backstory on what happened there, and then you'll understand what we're up against. When I was a kid, it was flag burning. Now it's mean words on the internet. So I think that in order to stick up and stand up for free speech, you have to stand up for all of it, as long as you're not breaking the law. So I just wanted to get this in there somehow. I can't believe it showed up on this search. Of all searches, why would that show up? It just does not make any sense to me whatsoever. Look, it's even missing the number. It's like, that's not even there, man. That number isn't even on that page. How did that show up in Google? How? I thought this website had been booted off the internet. It's already had its domain stolen multiple times. How did that outlink the other stuff? How did that outrank it? I don't know what to say about it. I'm just confused. I'm confused at how this showed up in Google search with not even having the zip code. I don't understand it. I'll leave it there. We'll move on. This is the reason why I think a pardon is possibly in WikiLeaks' future. Julian Assange. To me, they're the same thing. WikiLeaks is not its own organization. They can operate that way. But if Julian Assange is not running WikiLeaks, okay, it's not WikiLeaks anymore. WikiLeaks is Julian. Julian is WikiLeaks. It's just that simple. Trump, though, man, this guy's been kicking butt at every turn. It's like he just promises kept after promises kept. Trade war, all kinds of stuff. I don't even know where to start. but I'm going to start here. So Kanye West and Kim Kardashian pretty much run black culture. You know, you can forget about Reverend Jackson or Al Sharpton, those race baiting hustlers. These two individuals, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, they run black culture, all of it, top to bottom. Okay, they have it all under control. Trump is an absolute genius for turning these two people onto his team. Now there's no way to not give him a chance. You know, if you're an African American, okay, if you're involved in hip hop culture or you follow the Kardashians, Trump is now in your world. The crazy part is this is talking about prison reform, which I actually support. I think it's kind of stupid to give people life terms in prison for, you know, non-violent drug charges. That's not good, you know. Here he is with her. They're calling it out. But what he did was he pardoned a woman who had been on a life sentence for a non-violent drug charge. So he pardoned her. He's also pardoned Dinesh D'Souza, who the Barack Obama campaign or the cabinet, they targeted him pretty well. So Trump has issued a few pardons. I think he pardoned Jack Johnson, the old boxer. So he's been doing some high-profile pardons. And it's not like he's going down a list and just clearing people off. He's like, each pardon seems to represent something bigger. So the fact that he just pardoned, you know, a drug offender and made a big deal out of it with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West signals to me that this guy's starting to heat up pardons in the public eye, you know. And now, like I said, I started the video talking about, you know, Honeypot Pam out there begging publicly for a pardon on Julian Assange. I just get the feeling, man, it's right around the corner. It's got to be, because this guy has WikiLeaks to thank. You know, without those Clinton emails, the tarmac meeting stuff doesn't really come out. Comey doesn't do the flip flop at the end, and then who knows what happens in the election? You know, anything could have happened. I think the Clinton emails were pretty damning. I think, you know, I don't want to say that lost her the election because she was as crooked as they come. But it definitely, I'm sure, had an impact, especially that late in the game. Found this weird. Number 11. That's on May 30th. Someone pointed this out. Occulturism on Twitter pointed that out. So you can go check out his Twitter handle. I think it's twitter.com/occulturism. But there's two 11s. You know, they retweeted the same picture just to make sure you saw it. Oh my gosh, look. Wait, May 30th. There's the picture, and then May 30th, right after that, here's a close-up shot with Trump right in the middle of it. Maybe I'm reading too far into the symbolism stuff. Anyway, I just think that there's too much stuff going on. I think Julian Assange, no one's seen him. You know, the Ecuadorian stuff, I'll show you what that looks like real quick. So this is the woman I was telling you about earlier. This was Ecuador's Foreign Minister Maria Fernanda Espinosa, and she was just elected president of the UN. And this is from an interview the day before. I imagine she already had support to become the president. You know, there's a lot of people that voted for her. 66% or 67% is a pretty good win. You know, it's a pretty strong win. And she's out talking to the Associated Press, saying it's not a matter of censorship. You know, we gave him asylum and he agreed not to mess with the internal politics of third-party countries, and unfortunately he hasn't complied, so for the time being he's not allowed to have access to the internet. So she said this the day before she was up for a vote on the UN, and I imagine she already had support, but this may have been enough for her to like signal or maybe get her over the hump with some people that had some concerns about Julian Assange. This may have cemented her victory, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know though. You know, I don't know what these people talk about behind closed doors. All I can go off of what I read on the internet, the same stuff you have access to. I think I'm out of time though. This wasn't the best video I've done, I'm sure, but if you have something to add to this conversation, put it in the comments. I'm sure I miss stuff. I get things wrong. But I'm out of time. So until next time, this is Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.